Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bull sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Gemini, December 1st to the 15th, 2021, Gemini. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Excuse me, I do have a bit of a cold. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, if we're born on the cusp with Cancer, or we have Cancer within our natal chart. That's coming through very powerfully here at our root. Also, if we have Cancers within our lives, they'll tend to shake up our foundation of things. Then we have Temperance, which is not only our sister sign, Sagittarius energy, it's Sagittarius energy within our natal chart, or, within our lives coming through. Then we have the Lovers, Gemini, this is us. We're really in touch with who we are inwardly. We're really connecting. And then we have the Four of Swords. There's a real sense of looking at everything that we've been through. There's a lot of self-reflection, self-understanding during this time. Then we have our emotional self, which there's a few here. We have the Six of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. So there's real sense of moving away. And as we move away, we're really addressing a lot of vampiric energy that has been holding us back. And that's when we start to walk away from what we once thought we loved. Because this is a blockage around money. This is a blockage around success and prosperity for ourselves. There's a sense here that we get so far, and then there's something like sabotage that comes up. It can be self-sabotage. It can be, things just start to kind of fall apart. Then we're entering into the Nine of Cups, wishes come true. And then we have this gift for the cleansing of our heart, for the passion of ourselves, for the way that we need to move forward within our lives. A lot of the stagnation within our heart is being cleansed away. We have, excuse me, in the public arena, we have the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if we're born on the cusp with Taurus, or if we have Earth sign energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully in the public arena. There's going to be more of a grounded sense of how we're moving forward and what we desire within our lives when we come to looking at things in the public arena. We're also not going to be afraid of asking questions and pushing boundaries during this time. And we have the Ace of Cups coming through again. There's a beautiful soul's healing here. There's almost a sense of I'm looking at the world in a very new way and in a very cleansed way, very kind of centered within myself. It's almost as if it's kind of like that saying, new year, new you. Well, we're getting very close to the new year, and it's almost as if we're like redefining ourselves and not redefining, but recentering ourselves into the person that we were born to be. And it can be along the way this year, we kind of lost track of what we really wanted, who we really are, and where it is that we really wanted to be in the long run in our lives. And now we're coming back to that. It's almost like we're falling back in love with ourselves. And that's a really cool thing. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Page of Pentacles, also known as the Knight of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. There's going to be a lot of secrecy around money, and there's going to be a sense of corruption around money, people telling us certain things that aren't necessarily going to be true or aren't necessarily going to move forward the way that we have envisioned them, the way that we want them to. So just be aware of that during this time. It's going to be something that we can find very difficult, very aggravating, but it's also going to be something that if we're aware of it, we can kind of spot it out rather easily, because this person is going to be very apprehensive of really putting down, confirming dates, putting down facts, anything like that. And then let's see the chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, we have two right here. We have the solar plexus chakra and we have the heart chakra coming forward. So there's determination. We're definitely going against the tide, and we can see that here within our heart. We're going against the tide and we're gathering up our knowledge. It almost feels like our end goal is a place that we never thought we could be, and we've worked so hard to be there. The heart chakra is really coming forward. This is also a time where we start to connect with our karmic self, what it is that we truly love. But whenever the inner child comes up, it's doing the simple meditation of visualizing the child that we once were and the adult that we are now, with our arms held open to that child, and the child being able to run into our arms, and us telling that child as we hold them tight and hug them and love them, saying, I'm here for you. I will always be here for you. I love you. I care for you. I see you, and I will always see you, and I will always listen to you. And there's a power that comes to that, because we always have that child living inside of us. And to acknowledge that child and to be strengthened by that child is going to be so important during this time. So let's look at the astrological aspect of this time frame. On December 1st, we have Neptune going direct, which means that it comes out of retrograde. This draws the time to a close of spiritual and psychological transformation. And what we're going to see here is that we're more greatly connected with our hidden spiritual gifts and our hidden spiritual self. There's almost a sense of, excuse me, we're starting to find ourselves really gaining our footing, gaining our understanding of the way that we need to move forward. On the 4th of December, Mercury is opposite Lilith. Now this means there can be miscommunications and frustrations, and this is only amplified because we're ruled by Mercury. And so whenever Mercury comes into play during this time frame, this time is more amplified for us than other time frames is. So we're going to find this to be very frustrating. We live in words, Gemini, and to have miscommunications and frustrations because of these miscommunications is going to be something that is very aggravating to us. This is a time where we can feel unseen and unheard, which are also things that Gemini, we fight against. We need to be loved. That's why we're represented by the lovers in the major arcana. We need to be loved and we need to feel that connection. So much so that a lot of times we can almost sacrifice the way that we see things and who we are just so that people like us, just so that we feel like we're fitting in. Because Gemini, we can really feel like we don't fit into certain places, like we're just different from the rest of the world, and that can make us feel very alone, especially for people who want to be loved, who want to connect. So this is going to be a time when it will be very easy to lose ourselves into being what other people want us to be. Make sure that we're being honest with ourselves and centered in what we really want from this world. Do not let other people tell us who we are, tell us how to move forward. That's going to be something that's very tricky during this time. We also have the new moon coming into play and a solar eclipse, which will all be discussed in a later video. On the 6th of December, Mars is sextile Pluto. This is a tremendously driven and determined time. So make sure that we are picking our goals wisely, but also we're going to be astoundingly capable in achieving our goals, and everything else can fall away. We want to lead, we do not want to follow. We want to, have people understand our point of view, and it's really going to be of the opinion during this time if we're explaining somebody and a person isn't on board. It's like, well, just let me explain it a little bit better. Just let me show you more deeply what it is that you're not seeing here, because then you will be fully on board. And what Spirit's saying is that everybody's going to be like this. We're going to find it rather frustrating. The best approach for this day is to embrace our powerful confidence that Mars sextile Pluto brings, but also to kind of step back and to see how the day progresses forward. Be determined, look at our goals, yes, but don't let our goals rule us. On the 7th of December, Mercury is squared Pluto. And again, because it's Mercury, this day shines out more for us than on other days. This is a time when being in the normal world, the waking world, seems off. It just seems not right. This is a time of great imagination and great creativity. If we're artists, we want to utilize this day. We want to step into the creative realm of our being and ourselves and really move forward in that energy, because the real world can feel lacking because it doesn't hold the spectacular like the dream world does. This is a day when communication can be jumbled because we're all so much in our own heads. On the 8th of December, Mars is squared Jupiter. This alignment is rather positive, and it is, creative, and the energy is enthusiastic, it is strengthening, it is courageous, and it is sensual. We need to make sure that we stay in alignment with ourselves and our energy. If we don't have a creative or physical outlet during this time, we'll almost feel as if that energy builds up within us like a bottle that's been shaken and doesn't have any way of releasing it, like a carbonated bottle that's been shaken and it just explodes. So we're going to feel like if we don't have an outlet for that energy, we're just going to explode. So be aware of that. On the 11th of December, Mercury is sextile Jupiter, and again, because it is Mercury, this is an important day for us. This is a time of questioning and curiosity. We are open-minded, we are non-judgmental, our attitudes are about acquiring knowledge and about, moving forward in travel, but also seeing how that knowledge will be useful, incorporating it into daily life in an astounding way, in a unique way. This is also a time where travel is something that we really want. Mercury is the ruler of short trips. Jupiter is the ruler of long trips. So this is a time where we need to explore and we need to ask questions. Now, it's very funny that Jupiter here, so Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules Jupiter. So on the 8th of December, we have Jupiter coming into play with the alignment of our positive and creative energy. So that's going to be quite powerful for us. And on the 11th, not only do we have ourselves as Mercury coming forward, but also the sister energy of Jupiter coming in. So that's also going to be very, very powerful for us. On the 11th of December, Venus is conjunct Pluto, which is, we were on the 11th of December with Mercury sextile Jupiter. Now we are still on the 11th of December with Venus conjunct Pluto. This energy here brings love and karmic love into focus today. We have to be aware of our hearts and our heart chakras, as any turmoil or undealt with scars or pain or hurt will come to the surface and can knock us off our game if we're not aware of our heart being so powerful. And this is a time where our heart is doing a lot of cleansing. So I would very much expect that the 11th of December, not only are we, acquiring knowledge, looking outside of our comfort zone, wanting to travel and explore, but our hearts are feeling rather vulnerable, rather, too in tuned with the world around us and also with the scars that we carry. So this is a day that we just have to be mindful of and take it a little bit gentle. On the 12th of December, the sun is going to be squared Neptune. Now this will bring to focus and call us to see our weaknesses and what has been holding us back in our lives. Today is a day to find our voice and to not shrink away from it, even though when we find our voice, we are going to be shrinking away from it. We're going to be thinking, oh no, I can't be this assertive, or oh no, I can't embrace this power. We're astoundingly sensitive and caring, and we should not forget to be sensitive and caring to ourselves. We're going to find it very easy to be sensitive and caring to everybody else. But when it comes to us, we're going to kind of drop the ball. So be aware of that. On the 13th of December, Mercury enters into Capricorn, and this is going to be powerful for us, especially if we have Capricorn within our natal chart. We are again represented by Mercury, and this makes us astoundingly methodical in our thinking and the way that we perceive the world and the way that we communicate with the world. The fun loving energy of Gemini with the more taciturn, distinct methodical energy of Capricorn, they can kind of clash with each other. We can almost feel during this time like our wings are clipped just a little bit if we don't center ourselves and if we don't let ourselves have this creative outlet. It's almost going to be a no laughter, no jokes kind of time that we're entering into. And we're going to be looking at things very, very seriously. We're not, and very much like, how do I solve the problem? Everything's going to be about solving the problem and moving forward. Make sure to step back to see the heart of things, not just the numbers of things, not just the spreadsheet of things. Don't just focus on logic, focus on the emotion behind that logic as well. Also remember to speak kindly and with compassion, as this planetary alignment can have us being rather harsh with one another. So that's going to be something we need to be aware of. Excuse me. Also, on the 13th of December, Mars enters into Sagittarius. Now, we have that Sagittarius energy here at our root. So this comes through very powerfully for us again. So these planetary alignments are going to hit us very powerfully on the 13th of December. Just circle it and know that we are going to be a little bit very, very logical. Okay, very, very logical. And with Mars entering into Sagittarius, we have this maddening duality. There's this beautiful, fun-loving sign of this alignment and this extremely intense and aggressive side of this alignment. So we can almost feel like we kind of pendulum back and forth. We almost feel like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde on this day, where we're fun-loving and easygoing and then kind of monstrous. So just be aware of that. Monstrous might be a bit of a hard word, but we're using the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde analogy, so I felt like it was appropriate. We feel things very strongly with this planetary alignment, and we find it hard to see other people's point of view. We need to have a physical or spiritual outlet, as the fires of these planets and of this planet and of Sagittarius, kind of burn really brightly within us and can be astoundingly overwhelming. We will also not have the best follow through. So we'll be able to start things really, really well, and then we kind of get bored and leave it to the wayside, which is going to go so against the Capricorn energy that we're aligning with when Mercury enters into Capricorn, that we can find this very frustrating with ourselves. On the 14th of December, Mars is opposite the North Node. Now, this is a time when the intensity of Mars needs to be tempered with the conscious peace of the North Node. Mars has us looking for action and doing, while the North Node brings to the surface a sense of motivation of our work through our karmic debt, like a motivation of working through our karmic debt and growing spiritually. We're going to be looking at things that have been piling up within us, and it's like, no, I'm not going to be held back here anymore. This can be an amazingly powerful time for us if we balance listening and doing, watching and understanding. But if we let, the fire of Mars take over, or even the peace of the North Node take over, we're not going to have that full intensity to move forward with. We have here the Chariot. The Chariot is saying to us, at the root of us, we have to let our heart do the following forward. Our heart is braver than we think it is. We're going to actually kind of not trust ourselves emotionally during this time. Either we've been burnt in the past, or we're just going to think the more logical I can be, the better things are going to come out. And what your heart is saying here is that we need to embrace it. We need to connect with it. We need to understand that it's not being completely emotional, but it's not being completely logical either. That really gets things moving forward and really embraces the beauty of our lives. And that's where we start to see the balance of it. We start to see the balance of the strong, powerfully, outwardly strong part of ourselves, which is the saber-toothed tiger here, and then the inwardly strong part of ourselves, which is the little mouse that people can easily overlook. Excuse me. So when we're looking inside, we can kind of think, I'm not as strong as the outside world. I'm not as powerful as I should be, and I'm not moving forward the way that I need to. And what Spirit is saying here is that mice are strong. Mice are flexible and bendable and, and have a way of persevering. There's a beauty to us that we need to embrace. And there's also a way that, mice can move forward that saber-toothed tigers just never can. And so we're going to need to embrace the small flexible power within us, as well as the forceful power outside of us. Meaning that just because people can see our bodies and understand our bodies does not mean that the force of our soul, though maybe smaller than our bodies, if we like to visualize it that way, is still astoundingly powerful and astoundingly needed here to move us forward. We're balancing ourselves. We're also seeing the fierceness and the capacity and the ability of ourselves, and not judging things out of size, but out of the force of the perseverance of them. It moves us into ourselves. It moves us into the sense of our angels coming down and connecting us with love, connecting us with passion, connecting us with insight and ideas, and really binding us to the sacred feminine and sacred masculine aspects of ourselves, which Gemini is where we thrive. If we don't have these aspects coming forward, it almost feels as if we fall apart. The twin aspects of Gemini are both the duality of the masculine and the feminine. And so here we're stepping into this energy. Our angels are guiding us forward into a balancing of ourselves, but also into a passion of who we are, where we're headed, and what we love and want within our lives. We're falling in love with life again. And more importantly, we're falling in love with ourselves, with our dreams and our desires. And we're starting to see things more clearly, more openly, more honestly. And it moves us to really honoring the road that we've been down, which is something that we haven't done. We tend to think that we've been down certain roads, we've done certain things, but it's no big deal. Just keep on pushing forward, just keep on pushing forward. And what Spirit is saying here is connect. Connect with who we are, connect with all the trials and tribulations that we have been through. Honor our road, because our road is what has shaped us and forged us and made us. And as we are embracing that forging of a human being that we are, as we are embracing our soul's journey, we are finding ourselves taking our knowledge and our understanding and moving forward, that our angels are really walking with us, that they're working with us to part the fog and help us to obtain something bigger and greater than we had thought it could be. We're also taking our knowledge and our understanding and knowing that it's not going to save us from everything, from all the trials and tribulations that we have been through, but it is going to align us with the lessons that we have learned and the karmic path that we are on. It brings us to the vampiric energy that's holding us back. It brings us to the blocking of the flow of our chakras. It brings us to a place of stagnation, which we might think, okay, we have this movement. Why, Dane, are we then stepping into stagnation? Because there is a sense of every time we get so far, we hit a wall. And we can think that I can just brute force my way forward. But what Spirit is saying here is that we need the balance. It's not going to be, I'll show you, and I'm going to brute force this. It's going to be that I step into this and that I embrace this power so that it becomes almost as natural as breathing for me to see myself as a successful, prosperous person. The Four of Pentacles comes in, and we are releasing the guarding of our heart chakra, our throat chakra, our crown chakra, our earth star chakra, our soul star chakra, and we're seeing the energy start to flow within us. This is a stagnation around wealth, around prosperity, around abundance, around what gets to be ours. This is a sense of having nasty, hurtful words echo in our heads that say, I can never move forward to the place that I want to be. I can never be what it is that I desire because of XYZ, because of words said, when we were small, lifetimes ago. This is like a curse being put over us. And what I firmly believe a curse is, it's negativity spoken over us that gets into our mind, that gets into our body, that gets into ourselves. And it starts to be the way that we define ourselves. And so we can think of nothing else. And here, we're going to start to say, oh no, this is a bunch of bull. And we're walking away from what we once thought we loved. Now, it can be that we once thought we loved the words of this person. It could be that we once loved the safe little bubble that we were put in. It can be that, again, we just loved that person and we took what they said and we held it dear to us because we were little, or because we were madly in love with them, or because we were too naive or too infatuated to know better. And now we're walking away. This is an ending. This is an ending as severe as a divorce, as severe as a change of career. This is a sense of, I need to walk my own way. I need to be guided and led forward and to express my soul and myself and what I need and what I desire from my life. I'm opening up the door. And I'm finding that just because it fit once, just because it worked once on my heart, just because I once upon a time thought that this was all I was worth, it's not anymore. And it moves us to the Nine of Cups. It moves us to a place of the Minor Arcana wish card, a place of our wishes, a place of our desires, a place of what we need and what we want, and how we see ourselves moving forward and where we see ourselves being. We have here with the Nine of Cups a beautiful tenacity of being stepping into our lives. We have sweetness like honey melting on our tongue. And that's going to be when we know we're standing up for ourselves. When we're saying the right things, when we're aligning with our hearts and our minds, and we're seeing the power of ourselves move forward. There's a sense of, excuse me, I can't see this blessing as well as other people can. I don't know my worth as well as other people can see that worth within me, which makes us kind of easy prey for those who want to knock us off our game, for those who want to tell us we're not worth anything. And that's where the Ace of Cups comes into play. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, washing away so many hurts and pains and disappointments. This is the stagnation of the heart being cleansed. And this is a sense of feeling very sensitive. We can feel a little bit weepy during this time. We can feel things emotionally, astoundingly, intensely during this time. We can, be looking at ourselves and seeing where we need to be, seeing where we want to be, and kind of finding it hard to know the steps to take. As our heart is being cleansed, we find ourselves not being so afraid, not being so overwhelmed. We step in the public arena as a student. There's new experiences coming all the time, but there's also this sense of, I get to be a student of my prosperity, of the way I want my life to move forward. I'm not limited. I'm limitless. Okay? I am embracing something so much greater than what I thought I could have within my life. I become a student of my prosperity, my wealth, my determination, my focus, my insight, my ideas. I embrace me, and by embracing me, I move forward in the patience, in the tenacity, and in the determination to absolutely succeed. And in the public arena, a lot of that negative energy, a lot of those hurts and pains that were keeping us back emotionally are being washed away. We're not looking at things from a place of scars and wounds. We're looking at things from a place of a seasoned warrior, embracing the power of their abilities, embracing the strength of their technique, knowing that we have been honed over years and years and years of having to face things we didn't want to face, of our heart breaking and having to mend itself back together, to be strong and to be unstoppable. This is a time when the mind and the heart come together to see reason and tenacity and brilliance, and let nothing stop them. Nothing stops us. This is a time where we can feel invincible, but we also feel astoundingly grounded and as if we're more in this waking world than we were before. But we also feel at times as if we're in the dream world, the world of, limitless possibilities, and the world of ideas and new imaginings. And so we're finding this balance during this time. It can be tricky for us, but it is also extraordinary. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the Queen of Swords. It's getting in our own way. It's listening to other people's words instead of the whispers of spirit to us, instead of the way that we need to move forward. It brings us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is communication. We need to communicate with ourselves. We're all about the words and the throat chakra. This is the throat chakra. But what we're going to see is that we have a harder time saying what it is that we truly want, what it is that we truly need, where it is that we're truly headed. This is a time where we speak that truth. This is a time where we're connecting more on a psychic level than before. And as we connect on this psychic spiritual level, we start to see the world much more openly and much more honestly than we have before. It brings us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's the Empress. We're claiming a voice we never knew we lost, a throne we never knew we had. We're birthing and bringing forward creativity and power into our lives, and nothing and no one will hold us back. There's a real sense of power here. There's a real sense of seeing that power for the first time and looking at this creative energy, not as a curse, not as a sense of I can't fit in with everybody else, but in the sense of I was born to stand out. And now I'm embracing that ability and that flair of standing out and being so much more than I imagined. It moves us to our subconscious in ourself. And that's the Queen of Wands. That's fire sign energy. This is a sense of passion and determination. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, amplifying the Sagittarius energy at our root. we're embracing a new dawn and a new day, but we're also embracing a success that maybe other people don't quantify. Maybe other people can't truly understand. Maybe they think we're crazy for, barking out on something that is so different, so out of the box. But this is a time where we let ourselves shine, and we do so unapologetically and fiercely and determinedly. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that is the Two of Wands. We start to see the world opening, but we're looking at the future as well as the present. We have to make sure that we're stepping enough in the present to live it, and not just living for what we hope the future will one day be. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self, the Six of Wands. We need to celebrate. We need to celebrate ourselves and our successes. We need to move forward in this, in this praise of what we have achieved, not this condemnation of what we haven't. And so as we move forward in the passion and in the power of ourselves, we hold our heads up high and we embrace a job well done and our path well followed. All right, Gemini, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini.